Breaking news on HQ, Will Fuller is headed to South Florida. The Dolphins reportedly agreeing to a one-year, around $10 million deal with Will Fuller. That deal could go skyward depending on how much he plays. Remember, he's going to be suspended for the first game of the season, finishing out that PED suspension, which took him off the field the last month of the season. When Will Fuller plays, he's a one. He's a star. Problem is, he's had injuries and now PED issues in his career. I'm Chris Hassel. Want to bring in Jamey Eisenberg for the latest on this. Jamey, I mean, what does this do for the Miami Dolphins, a team already on the rise with division aspirations going into the season?
It's a big signing. You know, they needed to get another guy there to help Tua Tagovailoa. You know, we saw this receiving core last year. It was Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and they were hoping it would be Preston Williams, but Williams once again suffering an injury. So Fuller comes in. You could say he's the one. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he's better than Devontae Parker, but I think he's better suited as the two. You know, what we've seen from him is he's benefited from playing with Deshaun Watson. I don't know if this is going to be the same type of Will Fuller from a production standpoint because Tua is not at that level yet, but you have to get your young quarterbacks some weapons. What we've seen from, let's say, the Bills, for example, what you saw in Josh Allen's second year, they added guys like John Brown and Cole Beasley. Well, the third year they had Stephon Diggs, and you saw Josh Allen play like an MVP level. I don't think the same thing's going to happen with Tua, but you have to put pieces around him. So I don't think they're done. As we know, they have the third spot in the NFL draft, at least as of now. But maybe this is a precursor to making a big trade with Houston and reuniting Will Fuller with Deshaun Watson. Let's get that rumor going. So it'd be fun to see if that happens. But if they stay as they are right now, I think Fuller is going to be good for the Dolphins, not necessarily good for necessarily his stats, and obviously not necessarily good for fantasy because the quarterback play is not the same.
Yeah, how big of a drop-off would it be for Fuller then, assuming that he's on the field those last 15 games and stays healthy compared to what he would have done and what he has done with Deshaun Watson in Houston?
Yeah, it won't be the same. I mean, again, you know, you were talking about last year. I loved him last year. I thought he was going to have a breakout season because Hopkins was in Arizona and because he did have the opportunity to be that number one guy. Now, they brought in Brandon Cooks, and Cooks was a serviceable running mate for him. But I just think you saw with Tua and Devontae Parker, those two guys didn't mesh to the same level, let's say, like Parker did with Ryan Fitzpatrick, for a guy that's a veteran quarterback that was able to throw him open, put him in some contested situations, allow him to flourish. Tua's not there yet, but let's give Tua the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully a full offseason, fully healthy. He can make Will Fuller put up a lot of good numbers, but just not to the same level like we saw with Deshaun Watson. He's just not the same quarterback yet.
What does this do for Tua's ceiling? Assuming that he will be the starting quarterback again next season for Miami, how much does this help him in fantasy?
Helps him huge. You know, I mean, again, you're giving him a guy that's a significant playmaker. Like you said, when Will Fuller is on and playing and putting up numbers like he's able to do, that makes his quarterback that much better. So Tua now has two legitimate wide receivers, and I don't think that they're done. And you throw in Gesicki, and so we'll see how the double offense coordinator system works for Tua, but this helps him in a big, big way. He's not going to be a starting fantasy quarterback by any stretch, but it puts him closer to the conversation. And maybe if we do see things really work out well for him with another receiver added, with, again, the offseason working for him, staying healthy, he could, by the end of the season, be one of those guys that you're talking about as a streamer.
All right, Will Fuller headed to the Dolphins. Miami fans hoping that this is a precursor. Maybe they can pull off a blockbuster trade for Deshaun Watson and reunite the two in South Florida. Jamey Eisenberg with us on HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.